A man aims at a polar bear that's eating, but he doesn't just miss his shot. He actually catches its attention. The group backs away in terror, but the polar bear doesn't seem to chase after them. They move forward to investigate. They find the polar bear that was just alive moments ago, now lying dead in the snow. Their faces are filled with bewilderment. That's when Carl notices something strange. The food the polar bear was eating turns out to be the carcass of an ancient mammoth. They bring the polar bear back to the research facility. Jack calls his daughter, tells her to hurry to the lab, but right after hanging up, the polar bear dies. Through their research they discover it's all because of the mammoth. So Jack calls the pilot John, asks him to stop his daughter from coming for now, but John can't stop the stubborn Amy. Left with no choice, John flies them to the research facility, but when they get inside, they find no one there. They discover the polar bear's corpse in the lab. John even poses for a photo with the polar bear. That's when something bites his arm. John doesn't think much of it. Unable to find her father, Amy uses the radio to call out. The assistant hears Amy's voice. She takes the radio to find Jack. Learning his daughter has arrived at the facility, he tells his daughter not to leave the research base. The next day Amy looks through the window. She sees someone approaching the facility. They find Jack's assistant in the helicopter. She's barely clinging to life. Soon after she dies mysteriously. Meanwhile John's arm starts to deteriorate. The bite area is incredibly itchy. One of the female students also gets bitten. Things start spiraling out of control. Everyone starts to panic. When they try to leave, they discover someone has sabotaged the helicopter. Obviously it was the assistant who did it. She wanted to trap everyone here. Amy worries about her father's safety, so she goes to her father's field station. Opening the tent she only finds the mammoth's carcass, with lots of parasitic eggs on it. Now it's certain, the assistant died from the viral infection. To prevent the virus from spreading, they move the corpse to the lab for isolation. The polar bear's body also has parasitic eggs. Looking at this horrifying scene, John is terrified. His arm needs immediate treatment. With his companion's help, his arm is amputated. Due to severe blood loss, John falls into a coma. While looking for a first aid kit, Amy accidentally discovers her father's diary and videotapes. The diary records, "This creature is an ancient vertebrate. After being bitten by a female it lays eggs in the wound. Once the eggs hatch, the host dies." She then checks her father's videotapes. Turns out this was all her father's conspiracy. He deliberately infected himself with the ancient virus, planning to bring this virus back, because he had repeatedly called on the world to protect the environment. But no one listened. The terrifying virus released by melting glaciers is humanity's own creation. Only by spreading fear will people wake up.